Alright, welcome back. We have another little hodgepodge ship. So it's a mix of a variety of different manufacturers, Class A, Class B. I did not go into Class C this time. I started Class C actually. So I was tearing down the ship of the line and putting everything into just one compact form because the next ship I'm going to build, try to build, I should say, I want a really small footprint, but something grandiose above that. And as I'm sitting there constructing this shape started appearing. I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting. So I'm naming this the Claw. This is the Razor Leaf that I just keep rebuilding over and over again. So I'm going kind of like animal, insect-like, where you know how they'll have displays either to attract a mate or to warn a rival. Hey, I'm a badass, don't mess with me. That's kind of the idea. So this is a Class B small attack, fast attack ship. It's actually got the Class A engines, the fastest ones, and only two sets of weapons, only 6 weapons total. It's not flush with weapons, but they are the big daddies of the particle beams, the MEVs. So quite a bit of damage output. It does have the Class B shield, the Vanguard, so good there. We're gonna take a little look-see here. That rock, it like levitates sometimes, or sometimes goes down on the ground. It's so weird. Alright, let's get in here and take a look. So you can see that the stats are quite reasonable. The 40 reactor, it's actually got a 39. Again, I have Andromeda. And 7 crew. You could actually go smaller. This cockpit alone has 6 crew. And so I have a computer core over here to give it that 7. I run with 7, so that's why I did it. You fit it however you want. It has a fairly decent amount of fuel because, again, this was more of a display look. Kind of like what you would have in the animal world or the insect world. You'd have flashy display, like flashy colors here. Hey, don't bite me, predator. You might hurt yourself. And a reasonable cargo. This cargo amount is with my skills. We'll go in and I'll show you what it is with Sam. Hull is okay. Shield is as big as you can get for a B. And damage output's pretty reasonable. It's not the best of the best, but it's quite reasonable. It's better than you can get with just 2 sets of weapons for Class A. But for Class B, if you ran a 3rd set, you could get a little bit more. Though, you can't get any more and still have crazy high speed. This is the full 180 speed, so it's the highest. And it's maxed out. 1020 is the cap. You can't get any higher with these engines. So I had to beg, plead, cheat, and steal to find weight like that right there. I put another one down here, the framework instead of a hull piece, just to save a couple more weight and also keep the cargo up as high as I could. So pretty interesting little ship, and a nice succession or successor to the Razor Leaf as you bump up in level and you want to do a little bit more damage, but you're not really looking for a big old massive ship yet. You don't want to jump in a dreadnought yet. That this is a good little guy for you. So let's go take a look inside. Nice, impressive, big damn gun right there. Almost like what is that? The anglerfish? Like this is his mouth, and that's the little projectile that it waves. Hi, by the way, I have this now too, with the little asteroid that follows me. I've had it for about a week. Where it dangles that thing out in front of it that lights up, and then you get too close and it eats you. And imagine these are the hell, I should probably just call it that, but it doesn't really look like an anglerfish. Anyway, let's get inside here, take a look. It's a very simple layout. You could obviously change it how you want, but it's got the coolest hab in the game, in my opinion, and that is the 2x2 Nova living quarter. So, pool table, of course, which is also why it doesn't have any windows. Can't have any windows and have that pool table. It knocks it out. Weirdly enough, you can have a tunnel through here, not a door. The connecting tunnel, the crossway, and it works fine, but you put a door and it takes it out. So, standard fare with this. We do have a bathroom. We've only got one bed, so, I don't know, people sleeping on the pool table or something. Sleeping on that bench, sleeping on that couch over there. Nice layout for the work. And I finally did see, who was it? I think it was Andromeda. I saw her doing pull-ups. So that's cool. Finally saw somebody doing something with it. So it did knock out the other bed. I had no choice. There's no other orientation I could put this in until we can change these. Because I'd put that side in the front, like this stuff over here, and then, you know, it'd be easier. Here's how you dock. This is just the computer lab. Science, or computer core, excuse me. Got some extra storage, so a little bit extra if you really, really want to push it out. And you could do anything with these. You could do 3 2x1s if you want. Oh yeah, cockpit. This has got the big boy cockpit. The biggin. Which is so weird. You've got this one standing only station and all the rest are just, they're just watching. Anyways, I feel like they could have done better. They should have had a station up here and a station on that side over there. Alright, I'm going to be back with you in a moment. We'll have it all tore down for you. Alright, let's take a look at this. Before I forget, I put these ridges up, one, to give it kind of a ridgeback look to it, but also, if you chose to, that is a good spot for 4 additional weapons. But you also have hard points here, and you have hard points there. So you can put an extra set of weapons on it, or move these to here, for example, and on top of that put up suppressors, which I was going to do. It's a lot of money to make the eyeballs, you know, of an animal. So it's like it's like 22K minimum just to make eyeballs. Anyway, all right. So we're gonna start out. I chose a thin, small. I would actually have liked to have the 1 deep, but the 1 deep is a doorway, and I didn't want any climbing ladders. There is one, obviously, you got to go up to the bridge, but you can jump up it. So. C'est la vie. So you've got the Nova landing bay, which moves back to a Nova bracer. This is for weight savings. And back into the 20T cargo hold. You cannot do anything higher. This 1020 is literally the maximum if you want 100 mobility. And since this is a fast attack fighter, I mean, I kind of want the mobility. And then we're going to start back up front again. We got the wing seaport on either side to act like claws or something. Side teeth or something. I don't know. Got the wing A on both sides. Then you have the docker that goes down. That's what you get through the computer core, the way I have it set up. And a Deimos hole. Now, I did not pop in a weight savings here because it wouldn't have looked right. It looks better to have these two because they have the similar shape. And then the landing gear, which is just the Nova. 1 pair of landing gear is all you need. And then back to a pair of the 3015 engines. So these are the fastest in the game. Gets you up to fully skilled with SAM 280. And then weapon wise, this on the tongue, on the nose, you've got a plate, and then I've got the 75 MeV auto neutron. So they actually fire quite quickly. Don't do nears. Obviously, this isn't going to do the kind of damage a Class C can, but it's still quite a bit of damage. I mean, that's nothing to shake a stick at for a very small, super fast, and very agile fighter that has maximum range, has reasonable cargo. It's, you know, you're not writing home about that much cargo, but a very competent shield. It's plenty. I have jumped into Masada on very hard, and it was nothing. It was easier than the ship of the line that I just did. This time I only got, because this thing's so fast, I only got down to 54% shields or something. Even though it does less damage, it's just ridiculously fast, so it's hard for them to hit me when I'm just zooming around and all that. Anyway. And then a pair of the 95 MEVs. So these are the slower but harder hitting, so higher alpha strike than like the in the Bs. You can get 6 refire rates. You get really, really high DPS out of them if you wanted to. And then hiding down here, we've got our multi-freak, we have the comm spike, and we have the conduction grid. If this is your first video seeing this, the comm spike and the conduction grid are from the Crimson Fleet. You must be on the quest line to get to them. They are free, and they only weigh 1 mass, but they add 1.5 crew capacity just by having those 2 items on there. So very nice to have. I put them on all my ships because why not put them on all? I can have less weapons and still have a lot of crew. So then we're going to go up to level 2, the main level. And you have the pièce de résistance, you have the living quarters 2x2 to get your pool table and your cool exercise rack. It also has that swanky, right here, has the little swanky kind of home theater room where everybody can hang out that I never see anybody. I'm like, bros, what are you doing? You've got this cool, well, I mean, the TV isn't on, but still, have them turn it on or something, whatever. And you've got a couple nose fronts. We go into the computer core. You could do this however you wanted. Since you get 6 with this guy, you could actually run 3 2x1s that have no crew capacity at all, and you'd still get 6. So that'd be just fine. Now here is your shielded. And remember, I was saying the opposite one when I was talking in the last video. It's 245. For some reason, I just couldn't remember what the hell the size was. So you've got a shielded, and you've got the other variant unshielded 245 for almost the same weight. 56 versus 52. Here is your second pair of engines for a total of 4 engines. And then you have another bracer because I needed to save the weight. This is a tricolor ship. Just about every piece, well, these can't take 3 colors, but just about every piece has black, a kind of orangey gold, and a red, and like a crimson red. I'm thinking flashy colors because it's an animal or insect, and it's small, so it has to puff itself up and make it look big so that predators won't eat it. Then you have on the top layer, you got a couple spines that give you weapon hard points, so 4 weapon hard points. Plus, it gives it a nice ridge. It's not too high. It's not going to impede a side shot from your turrets, even though that one's not a turret. You do have to get this bridge at Stroud Eklund in the Narion system. You cannot get it anywhere else that I'm aware of. And I think this is this is not the big one. The big one's 380 cargo, a little bit more mass, but it also requires Starship Design 4. I went with the middle size one or smallest, one of those two. Then you have the other 2, so both weapons on these are 4 power, so I can only have 3 each. So they're set up in a triangle on each. You got this one here, and then this one here. And then we go to a Class B. So I had an A. An A works just fine. You can run, they're about the same price, so it doesn't really matter. It was semantics. I wanted to get it to show 28 jump range, and a 25 jump thrust does that at 1020 mass. And it's basically exactly the same price as the 27 jump thrust from the Class A. The Class A has a little bit nicer look, in my opinion, because it has these kind of like sides that come out with a missing center and the side that come out. So you can still do that and have the 30 range just to say, hey man, I got a 30 range. The mass, It's like almost identical. Let's just look at it right now. Grav drive. This. Actually, it's lighter. So, do you see how it's got kind of a little bit more interesting look, in my opinion? The center core is the same, but instead of having like scaffolding right here, it has, well, I mean, it's still scaffolding, but it just, I don't know, it looks a little bit more interesting to me than the B version does. And price is pretty much identical. So, pick or choose. You could save 8 mass and use that 8 mass to do something somewhere else if you wanted to. And then you could have a Class A engines, Class A grav drive, Class B. It is the biggest Class B, the 39. You can get away with 37 if you have 2 engines that are 4 each, which is what I had, which the Ship of the Line has one of those on it. And I was just gonna add a second and just run it like that. I had started building it with everything that ship had, and then whatever else I needed to delete. But I'm like, but then it's really just the same as the other one. Let's do something different, you know. Class B. Everybody complain. Well, not everybody. Some people complain that I don't do enough Class B, and so I'm trying. And then, so like I said, 39 here. We go into the Vanguard Shield, which is the highest Class B you can get. It's a little pricey, but it's not. It's nothing compared to the 1600 Class C price. That's like 68,000. And these guys aren't too bad price-wise, and they kind of give it a pretty interesting look, in my opinion. It's just kind of showy. What would be really cool is if we could get these to angle upward, right? Like a 45 up, or the back ones, a 45 up, with these coming out the side. That'd be sweet. Give it a really interesting look, because it would give it a look that's kind of like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do it that way, but just a little bit up to give it a little flair at that very end. I think that'd be really interesting. So let's cancel the mod. Give you one last look here. Then we're going to go up. We're going to do a speed test. And then I'm going to show you the damage on very hard. I'm not perfectly happy with this back, how it's just flat like that. I like that it's indented. This sticks out further than these do. I don't like having just a straight line in the back. That irritates the crap out of me. So I do like that it's indented. I just don't like how plain it is. But I have no more weight. 120 is the cap. So, yeah, nice little guy. Totally took me by surprise as I was working it out, that it just turned out to be a really nice and tight. So you got 17 by 18. It fit. I've already checked. It fits on the small platforms just fine. Yeah, great little ship. Nice razor leaf improvement should you choose to do so. All right, be back with you in a moment. Alright, let's see how fast this thing is. So, as you can see on the spread at the left, that's how I would run it normally. Because it's so fast, I don't need the extra last bubble, but I want to show it to you with the maximum so that you can see how fast it goes. Again, I have Samco, which adds the green bubble and a little bit of speed, and I have 4 of 4 in engines. Well, 3 of 4 is what adds the maximum, plus 20%, and then the 4 of 4 helps you to lose your tail when you are being attacked when you boost. So, man, just gets up to speed like nothing. It's just like, wow. Of course they gotta start talking. So, 280 normal speed.
Don't pretend to be mad.
I can't have T-Detect on because I've got to go do, alright, 11:16 it looked like.
That's so cool. But I guess it only
So
worked
plenty
because they just
fast
live on one
enough.
planet. And that sounds boring.
So I'm going to put max into shields, leave 1 out of engine. I'll show you how fast it actually gets to. God, those two need to shut the hell up. I can't wait for a mod that we can just, without having to do T-Detect, we can just shut them up. I don't care about their flavor talking anymore, but I need Sam, want Sam for the engines. So 257 with only 1 point out of it. It's fast. So, Spoiler alert, we're going to Masada. Storyline spoilers. Don't watch anymore if you don't want spoilers. I'm going into spoilers. And we're going to go... Oh, no, I'm not yet. I got to set it to extra hard. Bah, get off of there. Alright, let's go to settings. Let's go to very hard. Boom, boom. And let's go over to Masada and poke a hornet's nest. Masada. Stop watching if you don't... Oh, grab drive. Stop watching if you don't want spoilers with the main storyline.
Driver spinning down. Jump was smooth as butter.
I haven't come alone. We'll stop you from... if you insist.
And here we go.
Direct hit, engine.
Miss me. Let's destroy a few ships.
Oh, wow. They got my shields down.
You are not chosen. Propulsion is gone.
And there we go. Alright, so I used one of my...
Bad. The emissary looks...
How did I lose all of my shield out? That's what happened.
to face them in the buried temple.
I must have been hitting Alt and accidentally ran all my shields out. I'm an idiot. Okay, don't do what I just did, because that was dumb. How did I do that? I must have been... Oh, I know what I was doing. I was trying to do lateral thrust with spacebar and shield, or shift, not shift, A and D, and I must have been hitting Alt and A and D. Ah, damn it. So I ran my own shield down like an idiot and just let him pwn me. Well, there's your lesson. Don't do that, folks. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day.